Hello and welcome to this video detailing the features of the Azure DevOps app for Splunk. This app is intended to make reporting information regarding the work allocated to all of your projects within Azure DevOps very easy to access in one place within Splunk. Information that is accessible can be found on views such as a summary screen detailing high-level information regarding all the projects that are ingested in, more detailed information regarding each of the projects that you are collecting information, iteration information, such as sprint information, details regarding your members assigned to all of your projects, and work item information too. If we start with this particular screen, we can see that it's collecting information regarding all the projects that I am ingesting within Splunk, and it's information such as total open work items, items without any assignees, without any estimates, and then the projects that are responsible for the majority of each of these figures. If we go slightly lower down the screen, we can also see that there is a chart detailing the total amount of work items by each project as well. Drill down capability is available in each of these figures, and all the screens can be accessed via the ribbon at the top. We have a look at the vehicle team. This will open up the project screen. We'll pre-populate the filter, which is a table identifying just very high level information for each of the projects in question. Removing that filter will show you everything that was available there, and all the projects are just available to report in just with one single click. If we have a look in the vehicle team in a little bit more detail, we can see the time of last update, we can see the total amount of open work items, total unassigned, total without estimate. As we have a look at the middle column, we can see there is a pie chart detailing work items by sprint, and then we've got bar charts for work items broken down by state, by tags, by assignees. All of these again have drill down capability, taking you to the stats that for which all of these are generated. On the right hand side, we can see an iteration overview, and this is intended to display all your work items by each of the individual iterations, making sure that you can see that and confirm that there are no work items assigned to a sprint which is expired, that you can see your current iteration at a higher level, and you can see any work that's assigned to future sprints too. If we drill down into a particular part, this will take us to our iterations view, which can be accessed via the ribbon at the top. Again, in a similar way to the screen, we have some tables of which you can click down and drill down into. This will eventually give you a detailed report with some high level information at the top, just confirming exactly the selection that was taking place. Again, we've got a time of last update. This time it is very specific to the sprint in question. Total open, unassigned, without estimate, and now we actually can see the amount of work that's been completed for this particular sprint. We have a pie chart which is detailing your items by type, such as pass, backlog items, features, epics, and bugs. And then just as we do within the project screen, we can see the work items broken down by state as well. And this is also over type. So you can see, for instance, that there are 13 items approved that are backlog items in this particular example. Going further down, we have work items broken down by tags and by assignee. And on the right hand side, this is all task and bug capacity for the particular sprint in question, and it's highlighting in this particular instance that there is one unassigned task or a bug, that we have estimates for any unassigned work and total amount of work items without any estimate that's left to be picked up. The chart right at the bottom is very similar to what you will get within Azure DevOps. If you have a look at the capacity of your team, there is a bullet chart which will outline the amount of work left to complete versus the available capacity, and that's what we're given right here at the bottom. The advantage is it's all in one place, and you can easily compare that to other information, which is also which you may find also relevant. As we go slightly higher up on this particular screen, we can see total days leave. So all the leave that's been entered for the team for this particular sprint, and then just a very high level counter just showing total days leave over the sprint for each individual person. Slightly higher up, we can see that there's capacity planning in place, which is just giving you an overview of all the capacity that was entered in for each of the members within the team. And at the top, we've now got a burn down chart, which is giving you a burn down, which should be relatively reminiscent of what you should see in your Azure DevOps screens as well. The thing to bear in mind here is that the work remaining is purely taken based on information within Splunk. So this will only go as far back as you have been collecting data within Splunk. This is something that you may find quite noticeable as you first start using the app. However, the longer you go using the app, the less this becomes noticeable, as your data will be kept for longer. If we go to the next screen along, we've now got member information, and this is member information across all of your sprints and across all of your projects. So finding any particular team member and selecting. This will then give you some more detailed information regarding this particular member, just identifying that we are loading. As soon as it's finished loading, you will then be displayed with all the statistics. And we can see, for instance, this particular person is actually allocated work across 3 different projects. And then we've got total items by state, by tag, by type. And on the right-hand side, we have a total amount of work, which shows tasks and bugs, and the estimates that are alongside that as well. Again, all of these are available for drill down. And at the bottom, we can also see any leave that will have been entered for this particular member and displayed at the bottom. And this is leave which is calculated over all the sprints in the future, so not just one particular sprint, and across all the different projects. So it gives you quite a forward view for any particular member. As we go into work items, we've got a lot of filters available here. A lot of the drill downs will take you into this particular screen due to the amount of level, and it's almost just so that you can verify that the information that was displayed before is there, and just actually see what those figures were referring to. If we look at this particular tasking, selecting will give us a little bit more information, such as which project it's assigned to, the type of item it is, just confirming the name, any estimate that's associated, who the assignee is, what the state currently is. If there are any tags, they will also be displayed here, and there will also be a relational diagram just highlighting all the relationships that are in place for this particular task. As we can see, because it's just a task, there's no other dependencies with it. You're just seeing the parent-child relationship there between the user story and the task. Other information that's very, very useful within this particular app, staying with work items, we've got a work items relations screen. Now this will take that relational diagram that we saw in the previous screen to a totally different level. So for instance, selecting the vehicle team and the sprint in question, this will then load up what looks slightly messy to start off with, but it will actually visualize all your relationships between all your different work items for a particular sprint. And it's parent-child, it's predecessor and successors, it's duplicates, any relatives. You get all that information here. And so, for instance, if we just highlight over here, and we can see that task number 23034 is a parent for a lot of different work items, and exactly what these work items are. highlighting this particular work item, you can see again exactly what its parent-child relationship is with other items as well. So it gives you that very high level view regarding all the relations that are in place for this particular for the sprints in question. One thing to note is that it's still slightly work in progress, so there will be a lot more features changed on here as time goes by. However, it's a useful feature that's not available currently within Azure DevOps. The other screen that's worthwhile showing is the iteration comparison. So this allows you to compare iterations with other iterations. So whether that is by the same project or whether it's across different projects. So for instance, taking this particular team and comparing sprint 1 to sprint 2. And on each of these, you can see that a burn down will be generated where possible, any leave details. So you can confirm exactly what leave was in present. And the work versus capacity chart will be displayed on there as well. You can do this for a total of 3 iterations. And like I said, this can be across multiple teams or across the same team. And that is a high-level overview of the Azure DevOps app for Splunk. If there are any questions, then please let me know. Any ratings would also be very appreciated. Thank you very much.